Rich, but I came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm in Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's two open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate one. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth, I cannot in cotton shopping. Aquaponic, chronic options. Botanizing pot concoction. Earth a thought, her twat is rotten.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions. It's your host, Rich Black Magic. Red and Blue Pill, man.
Who set the roof on fire? Go.
Shout out to Kambada, the background. Black Magic of Kambada, the album, The Holy Ghost. One of the best albums out there right now, guaranteed. Make sure y'all go cop that, KambadaMusic.com. Get the album. You get all types of backstage, behind the scenes footage as well.
Facts.
Definitely worth your money. Definitely. We're gonna talk a little bit of some space today. We're gonna go way out to space.
Okay. Space talk.
Yeah, here's some space talk.
Yeah.
Pretty much everywhere. The last couple of days, I've been seeing this story about the U.S. admitting to running a secret UFO program, and I don't think this has happened before, where they actually admitted to running a UFO program. Let me just read this real quick for you. The Pentagon ran a secretive 5-year program to investigate UFO sightings, spending $22 million before it was shut down due to cost. For the first time, the Department of Defense has acknowledged the existence of the mysterious Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program run from an office in a quiet corner of its sprawling headquarters.
Pentagon, right.
Yeah, so, they had a Navy SEAL. The video is a Navy SEAL, an encounter with a UFO, and he was talking about how weird it looked and stuff like that. Usually, when you talk UFOs, people think about white people. They don't think black people see UFOs.
Yeah.
For some reason, we don't see it like that. So, and for some reason, this isn't supposed to be important to our community because we have to worry about police brutality and racism. So we're not allowed to talk about UFOs in space and stuff like that.
Yeah, this doesn't solve.
Yeah, this doesn't solve our white man problem. So we're not allowed technically. And it's a disservice you wearing that red, black, and green and talking about this,
Yeah.
But
you might have to change it. Red, black, and green disclaimer, my family.
But listen, man, talk to me. What's your thoughts on this, man? I mean, is this over at Reddit, Reddit and 4chans and all that, they're saying that this is a false flag and, they don't believe it. And talk to me about it. Do you agree with them over at 4chan? Is this a false flag?
The first thing that I asked myself, because it was on the cover of the New York Times.
Of the Times, yeah, that was a revelation.
The first thing I asked myself was, why this, why now? Mm-hmm. Then I started reading a little bit deeper into this very interesting story, because this particular inquiry is accredited to a former member of Blink-182, Tom DeLonge.
Really?
Right? He was the one that spearheaded this particular expose or exposure of the secret unit. He did it with John Podesta. Do you know who John Podesta is?
Pizzagate.
Yes. Okay.
Is that right?
Yes. So he, he formulated a group of people who were UFO buffs, and he kept digging until he hit oil.
Okay.
And then they were forced to unveil some of this information. At
least the existence of the program.
The existence of the program, of which they said has been defunded in 2012, but it's still in existence.
Yeah.
So it's a black ops now.
Yeah, basically.
Right? It's totally underground.
It's private funding.
Yeah, private funding, probably deep state or what have you. So it's very interesting. Like I said, they're saying that he's a layman. He was just a UFO enthusiast.
Yeah.
And he forced their hand. Little tidbit, Blink 182 also is the drummer of Blink 182 is Travis Barker, who was born.
Shares a birthday with us.
Our born day, and went off and started a group called Plus 44.
Okay.
That's a whole nother story. So the front man for Blink 182 is accredited with being responsible for cracking this inquiry wide open.
Okay.
All right. So I asked myself, why this, why now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are they putting this cache of information out? They released a very grainy piece of footage of them trailing a UFO.
I mean, yeah,
I know,
grainy or not.
Yeah, I know that's the bottom of the barrel in regards to footage that they do have.
Facts.
You feel me? But nonetheless, it's been put out. I'm sure that they're utilizing some level of metrics to see if people have any interest in this.
In it.
You feel me?
It's in direct alignment with the.
Today's the winter solstice, by the way.
Salute.
Serious.
Indeed.
Talking
Serious.
about alignment, yes.
It's in alignment with Scorpio and
Jupiter, Scorpio.
the Jupiter and Scorpio aspect of things being revealed.
Secrets, right.
Secrets being revealed in this time and whatnot.
Stuff coming to the surface.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak to what Rich brought up about, the blacks and, what a revelation of intelligent life outside of, humans would do to our perception of not only who we are in relationship to this planet, but the fact that there may be something greater than what we see as the supreme ones or the supremacy or white supremacy. So it's not advantageous for Europeans who have a grip on the religious, the religious majority of black people who are not even allowed to entertain the idea of something being greater than man. They're equipped with an arrogance to say that we belong and that we populate the solar system. You understand?
We have providence and dominion
over
all known and unknown things.
Facts.
Because the Bible don't talk nothing about no aliens.
Therefore, exactly.
They can't exist.
You feel me? So
it wasn't written.
So
they say.
Yeah. So there's a chosen race. There's a supreme, savior who's coming back. You feel what I'm saying? And he belongs to the European race. So if they were ever to plant the seeds in...
Oh, well, he's coming through the sky too, right?
He's coming the same way that zigzag, in that grainy footage and that ship.
Yeah,
He's prophesied to come from that ship. So they don't want us to entertain the thought of any other life form more superior than them existing. Because then we would look outside to say, it
would break the people's... It would break the hold that they have superiority-wise on people's mentality if they say, well, if you ain't the biggest bad on the biggest dude on the block,
facts.
Maybe I need to start conjuring up this thing that seems to be a little bit more superior to you.
And more sophisticated.
And let us also make a notation that we have to make a modification of this whole aspect of just because something is being called extraterrestrial doesn't necessarily mean that it's not interterrestrial, meaning that it's not coming from inside
of the earth. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because now the flat earthers are going to come for you and say, but how can they get through the firmament? You know what I'm saying? If we live in this bubble.
Exactly.
So it's not always a question of what's coming from outside, but what exists on the inside.
Indeed. And interestingly enough, this comes at the same time that I've been exposed to some viral videos that are moving through Facebook where there was a European. There's two videos. One video was the revelation of the loss of all of the footage of the moon landing.
Yes.
The loss of all information, the metrics,
all the coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's another video where there's a European running down on all of the astronauts who've been accredited to be occupants of the moon. And he was telling them, or he was
who have traveled to the
who have traveled to the moon. And what this guy was doing was traveling with a Bible, and he was saying, why don't you just put your hand on the Bible and take an oath that you did what you said that you did. And every single time, this was all on isolated incidents. I must have saw about 7 astronauts. One of them physically assaulted him, tapped his jaw. You feel me? But none of them would put their hands on the Bible. They all became irate, and they all exhibited, you know, the kind of responses that somebody would who has something to hide. It wasn't, I didn't see any kind of, what are you talking? You know what I mean? Here, I landed on the moon. They were just like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, turn the camera off and running. So I'm like, if there's no moon landing, then how could these people even say that they've been searching? You know, because they'll have you believing that they're in space shuttles, going through space with telescopes, looking for this intelligent life. You feel me? When we know that everything, that's not what's happening. There are satellites. The system is called SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. You dig what I'm saying? And other things that the
telescopes.
The telescopes, and also at the Vatican.
Right. Lucifer.
Exactly. The program is called Lucifer. So I, for one, I'm not that arrogant as a finite human being to just say, oh no, it's impossible. There's no way whatsoever that there can be, intelligent life forms out there or in here or around us, even in this light spectrum that we can't even see.
Right.
Can't even see the beams coming out of our phone.
Right. We're not even talking about spirit world, spirit realm.
Facts.
You feel me? Getting back to this whole aspect of timelines and coinciding with what's going on at this particular time in the news, there also is a story that's running concurrent to this one where they now have observed the cigar-shaped ship that has entered this galaxy.
Yes, I did pick up on that as well.
And now they have found another one that has come behind it. So they're saying that this elongated shape is not an asteroid. It doesn't fit the same shape. It doesn't have the same modalities. It's not traveling, at the same bandwidth. Or it's not traveling at the same speed and trajectory or what have you to say that it's an asteroid. They're saying it's unidentified. They don't know what this is. So all of these things are going on coincidingly with them saying, hey, look, saying we've investigated this thing. They're not saying whether it's a yay or a nay.
Yay or nay, they're not giving no definite.
They're not giving, they're not disclosing and opening up, all of the documents to say, here's what it is, but they are showing you footage to say, hey, we've seen some things I can't say as we all have, I can speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely know that there's a large contingency, that can also attest to the fact that yes, we've seen craft, you know what I'm saying? Whether everybody can make a level of discernment based on what they've seen, I don't think that they can, but we all know that we've seen things.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So this is some very interesting developments happening at a very interesting time. And, if people hold on to their hats long enough, I'm sure that, it's not going to threaten your victim paradigm long enough. You could get back to struggle, you know what I'm saying, once we get through discussing and talking about things that are very tangible, you know what I mean? Especially also, like I said, it also coincides because this is talking about intelligence. This is talking about a sentience or extraterrestrial or extra level or extra layer of intelligence.
Yeah.
So this is also going like this at the same time with the rise of AI.
I was just going to
which
touch
is
on
artificial intelligence.
Facts.
You understand?
Indeed.
So you have all of these situations that are now presenting themselves, right? As the information age is bumping itself up to the next plateau.
Leveling up.
Right? They're leveling up.
Quantum.
And they're threatening the populace, right? The human, the species, with saying, look, we're about to put you back in the dark ages by putting up roadblocks on your information highway with this internet, net neutrality.
Yes.
So what is your intelligence going to look like when AI's leveling up? Okay.
Machine learning.
Machine learning.
Quantum.
And then if any of these sentient beings make themselves known, where do you factor in on the scale at this particular point?
Damn near, you're the cattle.
You with the fishes.
Yes, you are. Now, of course, when I looked into the video and when I saw that the New York Times were the ones that were disclosing the video, you know, sometimes you can't have it either way with the people. You know what I mean? They've been talking about this for eons, and the minute that the New York Times decides to expose it or report on it, it's Project Bluebeam all day. Like that was 9 out of 10 of the comments that I read was saying, oh, Bluebeam, this is what we, you know what I mean? This is what Delbert talked about. This is what, you know, this person talked about. This is, you know, Jesus is coming. It's going to be a Bluebeam. They're lying. They're trying to set us up. So, you know, I paid attention because I saw Project Bluebeam at work in China. You know what I mean? I saw the video with the city hovering above the city. I saw there was another video recently where there was something over a body of water.
I saw that.
You know what I mean? Very impressive. You know, augmented reality, Magic Leap. They got the program of Magic Leap. You know, augmented is the future. Holograms are the future. So there are a lot of things at play, like you said, machine learning, quantum. You remember the video with NVIDIA, the NVIDIA chip, NVIDIA, where they were manipulating video in real time.
Yes, AI. Yes.
AI. So with AI, with the rise of AI and with the manipulation of video and with the manipulation of, you know, reality in front of you to where you cannot decipher what's real or what's not, you're looking at virtual reality without the Oculus Rift on at this point. Who is to say what's going, you know what I mean? Who can tell at this point? So it remains to be seen.
The man that taught Malcolm X, the man that taught
Most honorable, yes.
Farrakhan.
Most honorable, yes.
The man that influenced Khalid Muhammad.
Most honorable.
The man that many of us look up to as being the most influential black man in America, who bought so many businesses, who bought so many jobs, who turned so many dope fiends into upstanding citizens. This man we call the most honorable, Elijah Muhammad,
Most honorable.
talked about UFOs.
The will.
The will. Give us a history lesson for all the people out there that represent the red, black, and green, that like to represent Malcolm, that like to represent Farrakhan, that like to represent Khalid Muhammad. Their teacher talked about UFOs. Give us a history lesson about, as you mentioned, the will, about what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about with UFOs.
Well, I'm going to go back to the most recent revelation that was, you know, introduced into the group consciousness. It was recently by Louis Farrakhan at
Most honorable, yes.
Most honorable at
The Press Club?
Savior's Day. Was it? Was
The
no,
most recent was
the
the
most
Press
recent was
Club.
the Press Club.
When he was going
And-
at Trump's neck, yeah.
Exactly.
He spoke about the will.
And he went into detail where he was warning. There was a warning taking place. And he got into detail about the revelation of the will and how people turned on him within the nation, outside of the nation, allies of his. They thought they deemed him crazy. He stood on his square. He said, this is what it is. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad is not what you would deem dead. He still exists
On the will.
on the will on a higher dimension.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
At a different bandwidth. right?
On a different plane of existence.
Different plane.
At a different bandwidth.
Right.
And he said that, you know, he detailed his encounter, his abduction, right? Or rather, his, you know, third encounter. What is it? Encounters?
That would be fourth.
His fourth.
Yes.
Of the fourth kind. And
They sent for him. Yeah.
they basically sent for him. I believe it was Mexico.
It was. He was on top of the pyramid.
Facts. You understand? When I heard him talking about it as, you know, somebody who opens up their possibilities and their mind to, you know, hear people and I allow people to communicate, and I make myself available to receive the information that's being disseminated, and I feel like I could, you know, implement the art of discernment. You know, I didn't pick up a lot of falsehood in his statement, right? So sometimes we have to allow people to share their experiences with us and to understand that everybody has unique experiences to their journey.
How about it?
That's unique to them. Similar to when you shared your experience with me, being your twin brother, somebody who has been inseparable with you. We've grown up together, but there's been times where, you know, we split up and whatnot.
Right.
You know,
We get to trouble.
there's deep ends that each one of us went on. You know what I'm saying? So when you shared with me the fact that there was an encounter, I never deemed you crazy. I didn't turn my back on
Yes,
you.
you did.
Huh? I said that you were special. It's a difference.
Okay.
All right.
Blue,
So-
can you share that encounter with the community? Would you? Is that something you
Which
don't
one,
mind?
though?
Your most memorable one that you think will, you know, impact our perception of UFOs and, you know.
Let me say this. I witnessed Farrakhan live 2005, I believe. It was on 129th Street and had him playing Power. He was at that
the church.
My grandfather took me to the church.
Yes.
He invited me out because my grandfather was Farrakhan's teacher, you know, when they played Calypso together. So he was invited to this event. Farrakhan came to Harlem. We sat front row.
Yeah.
Farrakhan brought my
VIP.
grandfather on stage. My grandfather brought me on stage. I got to meet Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Right? In front of the crowd, packed house, he told this story. This is the first time I heard it. He told it with a level of conviction.
A lot of conviction.
That I
in
said,
it.
why would this man, I'm thinking about angles, I'm thinking about strategy. I'm looking at the strength of his following. I'm looking at the face of the women in the crowd.
Facts.
The mothers, the children that were there, the FOI, right?
Yeah,
The seriousness. And this man is on stage telling them he had a fourth encounter, right? An encounter of the fourth kind, where he was brought up into the craft. I'm like, what? Yes, this is Farrakhan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher in my mind, because I had already had experiences, but not like the ones I'm about to, you know, get into after this. I'm like, what would be his angle to go so far and allow himself to be scrutinized and criticized by these people
Facts.
when every year seems it's the last hour of our people, right?
Yeah.
So it was some critical stuff going on at that point, and he had came to speak on it. But
Was this post-Obama?
This is before. This is
This is
2005.
before. Oh, this is 5, you said. Okay.
So I'm like, this is Bush era, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, what angle, you know, Iraq and all of that. So I'm like, what angle would this brother have to be sharing this information, especially if it's standing on something that's presumptive and not in truth? And I couldn't come up with I couldn't come up with an answer because his conviction was too strong.
Very strong.
And he was putting it all on the line for his people to receive this message. So my personal experience, 2010, a year to the day after Michael Jackson made transition, you know, I go to Central Park. I'm with friends, okay? So I have people that are with me.
Got witnesses.
You know, we went to the obelisk so we can pay homage to Mike just as we did the day that he made transition. We did our little ceremony, opening the way, did some poetry, laid some offerings. You know what I'm saying?
At the Tekken.
I asked Spirit, how do I know that the brother has made a safe transition, and how do I know that the little bit that we're doing has gonna have any effect? You know what I'm saying? Because that's, you know, you gotta think that particular way about yourself, that what you're doing is making a difference.
Yes.
Spirit clearly said, come back a year from now. I'm waiting for my friends, so I showed up. I was at Serpent Mount.
You had your skull in your staff.
Right, I had found the skull in the woods. Now, something tells me to come into the woods. I go to the woods, I'm just coursing through the woods, not knowing what I'm looking for. Noble and Pooh, brother was with me, so I'm putting everybody on the record, God damn it. And Pooh was there, Amin Ra was there, you know what I'm saying?
This is Serpent Mound, not
we're talking
not
Serpent
Central
Mound,
Park.
yeah.
Okay.
Serpent Mound, we get to Serpent Mound, and going through the woods and shit like that, my bad. And I hear this clicking noise, like, right? Like the whole clicking aspect.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm following the clicking noise that I can hear in my inner ear. I come to a skull. The skull is making a very loud clicking noise. It's a skull though. The skull looked very elongated, right? I don't know what an antelope skull looks like and none of that. So I just know that this skull looked at a particular way where I had never seen a feature like that. I scooped the skull up, take it with me. It's clicking all the while. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So this is the skull that I had with me a few days later when I'm at Metropolitan Museum.
Okay.
All right. So I laid all of my stones out, you know what I'm saying? We rolled something up, blowing, you know, I'm doing my little ceremony or what have you. Again, all of this is in homage to the ancestor. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in regards to paying homage.
Yes.
Right? So I look up, and in the horizon, there's a low-hanging light. You know what I'm saying? When we were young, right, I used to go walking the dog with my father. And Bedford Avenue was very dark. He used to always show me how to tell the difference between a star and a planet.
Yeah.
He said, stars are solid, planets twinkle. You know what I'm saying? This particular light was very large and it was very low. So I'm like, yo, that can't be no planet. Look how big it is. Look how bright it is. And look how low it is. So I fixed my eyes where this particular light is fixed now between these two pillars, which were buildings. So I'm like, yo, if this light moves at any point in between this fixed point, I know that it can't be a planet because planets don't move at that particular speed. I go back to do something else. We talking, da-da-da-da-da. I look up again. Now the joint done moved. So now I'm focusing on it. You know what I'm saying? I take a little bit more time and I'm just like studying it and focusing it and trying to like really tune my eyes into what I'm looking at. And I'm seeing a neon rod come down, right, out of this light. You understand? A neon rod comes down. Now I'm perplexed. I'm just stuck like, oh, shh. I'm seeing something else. Like, this is, you know what I mean?
This is an encounter.
And yeah, you got to understand at this particular point, because I had, prior to this, always seen lights. I always seen stuff following. I always seen lights, always seen stuff shooting and stuff like that. But I never had this close encounter like this. I had never been in a place where it was fixed and I'm perplexed in this particular energy field and I'm looking at this thing. So this rod comes down, and after the rod comes down, there's like energy that comes, you know what I'm saying? It was like a wave, the energy wave comes, and I'm feeling the energies overtaking me because I'm feeling like my heart is palpitating and I'm feeling a rush. The people that I'm with, right? Shout out to Sakim. The people that I'm with, I would say that they was kind of nervous. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what they was there to see. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they have primed their mind to see this, because after this, I found out in this community, people talk hella spiritual. They talk hella metaphysical. They talk hella conscious. Start showing them something that's outside of the scope. Yeah, hella occult. Show them something that's outside of the scope of their consciousness and see them take flight like this. They are not
Falling
ready.
like white women.
Yes, they are not ready for anything that's outside of the scope of their consciousness. I'm talking, I can't begin to account for you how many encounters I had afterwards where I'm in full communication with craft now, where I'm communicating with craft in my mind, telling it, expand like this, the light is getting bright like this, contrast is getting small like this, disappears. It's doing all kind of stuff, and I'm showing this to people thinking that this is wavy, like you might want to know about this, because I'm showing people you can do it too.
Facts.
They like, yo, like they were just in denial. They couldn't register what they were seeing. They don't have the faculty to process anything that's outside of the scope or the box that they exist in, right? It throws people all the way off. I lost a lot of, I wouldn't say friends, but contacts like that. People wasn't ready. Shout out to Cheyenne, shout out to Lighthouse, shout out to will.i.am, shout out to A. Rashid. You feel me? These are people that allowed these experiences to be organic enough where they like, yo, what was that? You know what I'm saying? And they bore witness to these particular interactions that I'm having with these crafts. Shout out to my people, Kwame, shout out to Rhonda, you know what I'm saying?
Merkabas. Merkabas.
Yeah, this is when we were bearing witness to these ships, and these ships were diamond shaped. You know what I'm saying? These are light beings, these are light ships. I don't know about the cigar shapes and the metallic crafts. These were these particular crafts that have these iridescent lights. You know what I'm saying? And,
Well, I mean, I bear witness to encounters at the obelisk. Like, shout out to SKU Reyes.
Yeah.
What years were this? When we used to go to the obelisk to do our poetry?
this was all through like,
This was all pre-Obama.
yeah, 03 to 07. You know what I'm saying?
So every time we would go on new moons,
Full moons, yeah.
full moons, what the Tekken is, or what the obelisk is for the family who may not have any understanding about what Cleopatra's Needle is in Central
the
Park.
technology,
The
right.
technology of it. It's not just a phallic symbol.
Or a cute piece of stone.
It's not just a cute piece of stone. It's not just a big ass stone that you wish you had on your altar. You know, this is a communicating device.
It's an antenna.
It is an
And
antenna.
It you know, it's tachyon energy. So
Straight tachyon.
you're communicating with the multiverse instantaneously.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So as we're standing there, we're standing on the obelisk, we're standing in the vicinity of the obelisk, we're touching it, we're communicating, we're channeling our energy, we're doing this poetry, we're going all the way in. You start seeing the craft.
Coming
You
right
feel
on
me?
out.
And not
That's
only
a
do you
fact.
start seeing the craft, this is why I already know that what they're talking about this program is BS, because they always send them planes. They always send the planes
Helicopters, they had-
and the helicopters with these radar
With the
joints
thermal
on it.
on- the
These thermal
thermal,
radar joints.
detectors.
So they have mad footage. And when I started talking about this on the program, right, because I started talking about this in real time on Know the Ledge, so people can go outside and find the coordinates themselves. A brother that I know said his artwork for 911. She said people that the 911 said that the helicopter people from everybody was starting to quit because they was having all of these sightings and encounters with these crafts and they couldn't explain it. So a lot of people have been going through these things and they don't have no outlets. You know what I'm saying? They have to worry about people being hypercritical about them because everyone wants you to be comfortable in this little box that they exist in. You feel me? Based on whatever level of indoctrination that you've been through, okay? And I don't hear nothing from these spiritual niggas, like I said. Because all of you systems and deal with something coming out of the sky or something in the sky. But nobody looks to the sky anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you see something in the sky that you can't explain, you get spooky. I seen it all. You feel me? I seen all of them. From the Rastas, to the Muslims, to the Yoruba, to the Moors, to the whoever. You understand? I seen them all spooked out when they see these crafts. So I'm not in the place of like enabling people's weaknesses anymore. This is what it is. You feel me? And I've seen mad stuff afterwards. And I've met mad people who've seen mad stuff. So much, well, it's just regular.
Yeah.
It's just regular schmeggle at this point. There are entities that are observing you at all times.
Watchmen.
Right? In the book, they call it angels or the watchmen or what have you. And they're not necessarily here to intervene on your behalf. They're recording you. They're recording your actions. They're recording your fears. They're recording the way that you decision make and execute.
Your shadow self.
You on earth, you have to execute and deal with earth things yourself. Stop always looking for an intercessor. Because if somebody intercessors on your behalf, you're a bitch of that particular paradigm. You're not in control. That's not a power position. You understand? So, earthlings got to deal with earth issues at this particular time. You got to man up and handle these situations. This white man that you think is such a threat, who's so powerful, you understand? They laughing at you. They like, that's your threat, huh? But this person is threatening the galaxy because this particular rock that you exist on is one of the most important pieces of real estate in this particular galaxy. This is the center of the galaxy as far as I'm concerned. You understand? And they're not gonna allow this man to destroy it all the way out, but they damn sure not willing to intercede on your behalf. You supposed to be the biggest, baddest thing on this corner of the galaxy, nigga.
Fact.
Where's your fight at? You ain't swing a punch yet, and you ready to throw in the towel. You looking for the ref to come and intercede. Come on, son. You look crazy out there.
Blue, what makes Earth such high real estate in the galaxy? What makes us this plane the center of the galaxy?
Bro, this is the jump off. You know what I'm saying?
Explain. What do you mean?
This is the jump off. This is
It's
where
supposed to be prison for your soul. So how is prison for your soul the jump off the center of the galaxy?
You have the potential to realize your potentiality and break out of prison.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Universe City.
And break out of prison. And you could come here and get out of detention and never have to come back to class again. You dig what I'm saying? And your graduation is going to level you up to a where you would understand what this was all worth. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's worth it. Like, if you're willing to engage and operate at a level in which you graduate, you know what I'm saying, and you do it the way it's supposed to be done, you're going to see that it was well worth it. You know what I mean? So this is where it's all at. This is where, you know, everything coalesces. All of the temperature, climate zones, you know what I'm saying? There's a trillion something species on this planet. They've only identified 0.1%.
That's true.
Go to Google, look the stuff up yourself. There's so many species here. And if you look at some of these species, you would think that they was quote unquote what you call extraterrestrial.
Alien life.
Alien life, alien looking like. You know what I'm saying? There's so many species here.
Go into caves, go in the deepest depths of the ocean.
But there's so many varieties of dogs. There's so many variety of birds. There's so many variety of fish. Yeah. But when it comes to humans, they want to convince you, oh, we all the same? No.
It's only one.
It's only one.
Yeah.
Only you, huh? So maybe that's what makes it so special. That your special ass is the only one here, right? Throughout the whole galaxy and the universe. Everybody want to come here to see how you get busy. Since you so special. You the nigga, the devil, you got the devil kicked out of heaven. Because you were so goddamn special. All right? So everybody want to see how you put on. You got the big homie kicked out.
They want to come and see you twerking.
Yeah.
How do you twerk in this whole universe?
How you twerk? Let me see what your twerk look like.
Yeah. They want to see niggas online for the red alert.
You upset the whole balance of the universe for your spoiled ass to come here. Let me see what you do with this thing. Huh? What are you doing? Black man, what are you doing? Huh? Your carbon imprint. Like, again, you know, that's why the KTs of this world are so important. The Minister Inkies of this world, you know what I'm saying? The scientists, the people that are getting into the real jump off about what this suit is, about what's going on inside here.
Yeah,
the potentiality. The 0.0.0.0.1% of potentiality that you're realizing with this wonderful jump off thing that you have here. Mm-hmm. This body that you got. That you can really do some things with. We love to go to the movies to be entertained by it.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Same way that you would love to go to the movies and be entertained or horrified by the thought of us not being alone and there being something else out there.
Stranger.
You understand? Yeah, the Stranger Things. You love to be entertained by these concepts, but people get spooked dealing with the reality of it all. So I'm not here, once again, to convince nobody of nothing. I'm cool with the small contingency of people who know what I'm talking about because they out there.
The quality
you dig what I'm
of
saying?
membership.
The quality of membership. And, you know, some people probably would have been, they felt a particular way about, oh, you a space cadet. Like, I see how niggas get down. Like, I know what you humans is about. Like, I don't want to be part of that club. You know, push me to the motherfucking outskirts and I'd rather be something else. Me and Young Farrah.
Blue, let me ask you, Blue and Red. If I say, don't know, ain't no aliens out there, you two's crazy.
Yeah.
And if you say, I ain't never see an alien or UFO in my life, and you say, well, UFOs do exist. I'm not crazy, you crazy. Can we both be right at the same time?
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the multiverse,
Yeah.
because of the nature of relative reality, and because of the nature of quantum physics.
Yeah, this is
so is it like
this is
we shouldn't be mad at you and you shouldn't be mad at us? The flat earthers shouldn't be mad at the globalists and the globalists should be mad at the flat earthers? Because at the end of the day, it's a holographic universe and what we project is what's out there because it's all wave turned to particle by our observation at the end of the day.
It's all a perception-based reality. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
It's all a perception-based reality. Even for the flat earthers and the round earthers, all of them.
Green Frisbee.
My contention is that you niggas don't live on Earth, period. You understand? You don't live on Earth. You keep arguing about flat Earth or round Earth. You people have lived on rubber soles, right? Let's say I'm 40. For 39 years out of my life, let's say 38, I've walked on rubber. Cumulative wise, if you take the amount of times or days that I've spent with my foot on Earth, okay, grounded, screwing into Earth, channeling the energy that comes out of Earth, it only adds up to about a year, maybe. Okay, so you don't live on Earth. You don't even know what Earth is. You live 2 inches off of Earth. But your conversation is all about flat Earth or round Earth. But you don't even know what Earth is. You're not channeling the energy of the Earth. You're not tuned into the Earth. You're just concerned and you want to be so intellectual about all of this craziness about whether it's, what difference does it make? All right?
Have you traversed the sacred acreage of the Earth?
Have you
explored the whole planet?
Have you gone to this shelf? Have you? Because you know they said that it's
the ice walls.
Jon Snow. Yeah, it's it's firmaments with. Look, niggas don't spend no time on Earth. You live 2 inches off Earth your entire life. Okay, they only introduced the rubber sole in the 60s. When did all of these issues start happening, health-wise and mentality-wise with our people? 60s and beyond, all right? We don't live on Earth. We live 2 inches off of Earth, okay? So I would squash that argument right there. People are talking about the wrong things at the wrong time, right? But yes, everybody got their own right to perceive their own thing. Have respect for everybody else's experience that may not be yours, right? That's my rule. Let people be different. It's cool. That's why I said I'm not here to try to convince nobody, but I am going to speak up for those who know for certain they've had experiences that you can't detract. You can't take these things back. You can't scale it back once somebody has these experiences. And I saw the way that they did Young Pharaoh in this community. That was dead wrong, right? Because it don't fit into your paradigm. It don't fit into your perception of what reality is. We don't have a grasp on this thing. Everybody's here still trying to figure it out. Or you want to be talking about you are the supreme mathematics, this, that, and the other, and then there's a white man over there that you call a supreme at the same time. And man is mind, okay? But you can't figure out a solution to that. So we need to cut it out. So with that being said, like I said, man, just let people be who they are. And for those who haven't experienced it, open yourself up to the experience.
Facts.
Let the universe know that you're ready. You understand? Let the universe know. Put that proclamation out. Yo, if there's something out there, I want to know. That's how my journey started. In 2000, 2001, I was like, yo, if there's something out there, I want to know. I had a piece of hematite in my hand, right? Which ironically enough, the hematite was the same shape of the ships that I longer would see. It was octagonal, right? 2 hexagonal figures, octagonal, it's 44 for you right there. I said, yo, I'm holding it because Brother Hank and Robert Smalls were the 2 brothers that first introduced me to Lester Lovin at the same time that they introduced me to the whole information dealing with Delbert Blair. That's when I was introduced to that information. And I think Hank had gave me this, Lester Lovin, we went to see Lester Lovin. He was the first one to show me about alkalinity, and he had gave
Pyramids
me,
in the room.
he gave me this octagonal figure, which was a hematite. And he said hematite is from some of the earliest forms when the earth, you know what I'm saying, became solid. This is some of the first formation. He said it's it's magnetic. If you hold it and you put your intentions or wishes out into the universe, you know what I'm saying, it'll be heard and magnetized that much quicker. That was my wish. That was my intention. That's what I put into the universe. You understand? So I got what I was looking for. You can get what you're looking for. You understand? If you wanted me to IG model, if that's your idea of the apex, make that thing happen. Actualize it.
Yeah.
You feel me? But stop telling somebody who has the ability to make that a reality that they can't do that.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Stop putting people into prison. Stop being prison wardens on this prison plan.
That is slavery.
Okay?
That is
this whole thing
slavery.
is about prison breaks. All right? We here to break out.
You gotta hack this shit.
You know? Stop being prison wardens, man.
Facts. What he said.
Yeah, so that's, that's where I'm at with it. You feel me?
Wow, Blue's adamant about this, man.
Yeah,
Blue got that fire in him tonight, man. Goddamn, Blue Pill. Woo, okay, Blue.
Joe Buttons.
Oh, man. Well, listen, we gonna wrap this segment up because we about to do another one. But leave your contact info. Like I said, Blue Pill got on that fly sweater. Red got on some fly clothing. And I'm sure everybody want to know where y'all get that from. So holla at the people.
Promote. I don't have the website for the brother. He came to Harlem and blessed me. Oh, he'll see the video. So I'm sure he'll drop the link in the chat. This brother here put together the piece that everybody was asking Blue about, the ankh, the colorful ankh.
Yeah.
You feel me?
He got an Etsy. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, we don't got the Etsy in front of us, but we'll put it in the link. This is Shango right here, the warrior. Yeah, you know what I mean? Not the warrior. You know.
I got that space wear, that apparel normal, okay?
Yeah, that galactic.
Because we talking about that apparel normal, to boldly go. You dig what I'm saying? So my space cadet, show some love. Go holler at your boy, get some, some of that fresh gear. BluePillar44 at Gmail. All right, if you want to holler at me, because when I put my post up on Instagram, BluePillar44 on IG,
a lot of hitbacks.
I got a lot of hitbacks. I got hundreds. It's like I got 1,000 likes. I got mad hundreds of comments with people saying, yo, this is what I seen. This is what I experienced. So it's time to have this conversation so people cannot no longer internalize this stuff and feel like they crazy.
Yeah, so
allow people to express themselves. You know what I'm saying? Allow people to open up. Let them get it off their chest. If you have something that you want to share, BluePillar44. Don't let this conversation threaten your liberation. You could get back to the struggle talk all you want. This is not coming in between your everyday struggle. You could get back to your everyday struggle. You feel me? You can get back to your struggle bars. This is not interceding your struggle bars. We're not stopping black people from being liberated. You dig what I'm saying? Get back to your shit.
Yeah.
You know, and if you need some help from the big homies, ask for the big homies' help. Figure it out.
Factology.
All right?
Red Pillar, Patreon.
Peace.
Holla at us.
Peace. Rich, but I came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm in Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's 2 open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate ones. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth. I cannot in cotton shop in aquaponic chronic.